I believe I train just as hard as an athlete, if not harder, because you're standing all the time and we're using different muscles that you wouldn't normally use on a daily basis. And so your body can give out. You really do have to stay fit and healthy in order to do 1,000 blow dries all day. This is the Mac Daddy of all competitions that you're gonna see.
I mean, it's an adrenaline rush to be out there on the floor.
I'm getting all butterflies in my stomach sitting here thinking about it.
Some people use paint as a medium. We actually use hair.
You've heard the phrase, the thrill of victory? There's a lot in that little statement there.
Someday I'd like to be able to tell my kids, your daddy won a gold medal in hairdressing.
Just imagine the sporting Olympics with all the different countries represented and all of the noise and all of the pride and the cheering. That is how our Olympic event is. It's the same energy, it's the same power, it's the same camaraderie. Even though you can't understand each other, you know that hair looks pretty darn amazing.
Last year, 23 air stylists were picked for the official USA team to compete in the 31st Air World Championships in Moscow. This is their story.
As a kid, I started off in church singing gospel music, and the choir that I sang in became really popular. We did recordings, we recorded a CD, we thought we were, the bomb, you couldn't tell us nothing. From there, my minister of music introduced me to a group called Up With People. When you do theater, you have to kind of do your own hair and makeup. It was something that came really natural. Everyone was like, oh my God, you should pursue that a little bit more. And then one day I just sat down and did some soul searching, and I decided that performing, singing and dancing wasn't as much of a passion for me, so I tried to decide what was my passion.
After I left Saturday, you should have gone, because apparently it got real dirty, nasty.
Really?
There was some dance contest.
It consumed your life to be a stylist, it really does.
Yes, it was a booty rump shaker dance contest. And
it has to be something you eat, drink, sleep, and breathe. It's not just you cut someone's hair and send them on their way and then it's over. It's a lifestyle.
Dollars.
Shut up.
I was like, I should have stayed.
Just seeing someone that had a bad day before they came in, it's amazing how just getting a shampoo blow dry can change someone's attitude. Everything's all better because she came to visit me.
Let me do my Oprah.
You make people feel good, you make them look good, and in return, it makes me feel very good. Competition offers a different outlet for us as artists. So you'll see more fun colors, you'll see pinks, and you'll see blues and greens. You'll see a different kind of hairstyle that you wouldn't see walking around on the street. Something that's not really wearable to like your local grocery store or something like that. I practice every day. Every single day, I whip out my mannequin and I will do the style. I will train for a year before the actual competition. I work in the salon 5 days a week, and I train at home and in the salon, and I train with my trainers on my 2 days off from the salon. There is more practice than you could imagine. You do the style, analyze it, and you take it down and you do it again. So it's the same style over and over and over for 8 to 10 hours a day. I have no social life because I'm really just doing my mannequin. There are many sacrifices that I have to make. I can't go on as many trips. I can't buy expensive Madonna tickets like I would really like to. It's something that I love and it's my passion, and so I don't gripe or complain about it. I know that's what has to happen in order to be the best. Michael and Elna are my friends. They're my family and they are also my trainers.
When we train competitors, we always stress to them that they have to get up early, watch their diet, exercise, no smoking, cigarettes, no alcohol, because all of this affects their finish style at the end of the day. I think what inspired me about hairstyling was, as I was growing up, maybe I was around 7 or 8 years old, I remember the Elvis movies and his album covers, and I loved his bombage and his pompadour, and it really attracted me to hairstyling. I really loved the idea of how to get the hair in the front to move.
She has a great neckline.
Does that hurt?
Michael designs everything that we do as far as hair. So when he does the hair, and then I can go in and do the costumes, and then do the makeup, and I'll make the jewelry, and then I'll do the posing. So it's a lot that we do together, hand in hand. Arch your back a little, relax your shoulders. Relax.
Now, how long, Elna, do you think she's actually gonna have to stand in that pose? Because, you know, we've seen girls fall out.
Long time.
Posing.
Hour and a half. After Dale is finished with the competition, he'll take her cape off, and then she will go into her pose. You're here now. Nice, sexy smile. You're here. Judges around. The thing about when she's standing, she's going to be a straight-on shot. So that's going to be easy. But when she's sitting in the pose, her body's going to be turned a little bit to the side. So it's going to be a little bit different. So I have to really help her on that pose. That makes a big difference.
Do you want her to smile with teeth the whole time?
No. She doesn't have to smile with teeth. As long as your smile is really sexy and inviting. Because what you want to have some kind of look. See, look at me. What I'm going to teach them is attitude and how to present themselves in front of the judge. So the first thing is they need to go up to the edge of the chair. It's all about the points. So my first hand is going to go on my right knee. My left leg is going to extend out. And if you notice, I'm keeping my toes pointed. This is bad technique. Look at the technique. Bad technique. This is good technique. Beautiful. Now my left hand's got to go somewhere. I'm going to put it right on my waist, right there. Tummy still tucked in. You have to keep that tummy tight. Now the last part, I'm going to pretend that I have something here and it's pulling me up. Almost like a puppet. And there goes the arch in the back. See, now you've got my arch, you've got my posing, tummy tucked in tight, hands relaxed, shoulders relaxed. Nothing like this. See the bad technique? Good technique. Look how pretty. All points. Beautiful. A model can make or break you. Oh, she's got attitude. I like her a lot.
I know it sounds silly to practice standing still, but it is a hard task. I usually just put the shoes on, stand in the pose that I've practiced with Elna, and just try to stand there as long as I possibly can. It is tough. Standing for a long period of time or trying to hold a pose and making sure your shoulders are relaxed and your chest is up and you're smiling and you're making eye contact with the judges. It's a big responsibility.
When I finally went to cosmetology school, I feel like I found my place.
It wasn't something that I always wanted to do, but I've always been into art. I was actually going to college for art history.
About a year ago, I didn't plan on doing hair. I was going for radiology.
I was doing my own hair, and then other people would ask, well, who does your hair? And I do.
I like when I go out, all of my girlfriends looking and feeling gorgeous, so I like to help them get that way.
Hair is very important from the standpoint of it's a frame to a picture. Hair does a lot psychologically. It is astounding how people will, their whole mindset plays off of how good or how bad their hair looks. It's incredible, it really is. We do a lot. At the age of 13, my next door neighbor was a hairdresser, and she invited me to go see a hairstyling competition. When I was there, I sat next to her, looked up at her, and I said, at some point in time, I will come back and win this, because I thought it was very creative, very stimulating, very exciting. Just the creative aspects of seeing the hair. The hair at that time lended to more sculptured type work. The models looked like they had sculptures on their heads, which was actually hair. So that's what stimulated me into it. And on my 18th birthday, I did go back and I did win it. The first competition I competed in, I was a student in cosmetology school. I was the only student in the school that participated. I noticed that I was learning quicker and faster and more than the other students that opted not to do it. It was an optional. So I thought to myself, hey, you know, this is not a bad thing. Competition has built my clientele. It's been able to give me a state reputation, then national reputation, then an international reputation. Keep in mind, in competition work, you're being judged by not the client, but by your peers. So therefore, it has to be 2 to 3 levels above what, let's say, the average stylist will produce in a salon environment. Yeah. I actually like training better than competing. My job is to get this stylist that's going to be competing in this competition or this event. I have to get their skill levels developed. They have to know the design, the haircut, the coloring techniques. And yes, I do get very anxious because I have to get them from point A to point B within a certain amount of time.
Now what about this one here? Does it need to come more
That's right. It needs to roll
back also?
back also.
Now is this size too big,
No,
too
I
small?
love the size.
Okay.
I love the size.
We get the edge by staying up all night, by putting everything that we have into it, our heart, our soul, everything. And I mean, for days, all you're thinking about is competition. You eat, you live, you breathe your hair.
I was at East Carolina University, and I was going for civil engineering. My dad's probably gonna kill me for saying this. My mom is very supportive. My mom has always been supportive. My dad wanted me to stay in college. He really did not want me to do this. I want to be happy. I realized at a decently young age that happiness is more important to me than a huge paycheck. I don't want to be one of these adults that goes to work every day, can't wait for 5 o'clock to come because they're ready to get out of that office. I don't want to be sitting at a desk the rest of my life. And I'm glad I realized that as young as I have, because I don't want to be 45 years old and realize that I hate what I'm doing.
I have some cheese fries here for you.
Oh, Ashley, to be able to do this, she's in school. She has a part-time job at the Outback. She puts in long hours at work.
Is everything perfect for you guys?
It's very good.
Then the child has to come in here to work with me. What's bad is the fact, and I sense all this, I know all of this, and I feel this. If she were not here with me, she would be making an income in which to better support herself. Some of our students don't get to go out on Friday nights and party and spend the money because they're putting it into this. Instead of coming all the way down the path.
Training is definitely tough. Before I came up here, I knew it was going to be hectic. Real tight time schedule. All of my time was going to be spent here in Raleigh and working with my trainer. And right before, every day before I get here, I pray. I'm like, God, get me through this day. and that really helps me. Usually the first time I put up a style, it's horrible. Then the trainer, he comes over, Portia, pitch this up higher, let this down lower, curl this more. Then the next time it's looking a little bit better. And then I come to a point where it's consistent. It's looking good each and every time. And then when you get to that point, you know that's just about ready for competition.
A great competitor is to beat themselves. I don't believe that we need to beat anybody, except we got to beat ourselves first. And if we can beat ourselves every day, every time we train, we'll beat somebody else. But there is a never ending. You cannot make anything that is perfect. There is no such a thing as perfect except God, but there is no such a thing as being perfect. So that's the goal that I install on them, is you can be better than yesterday, but not better than tomorrow. So right now, let's beat ourselves.
I ask God that you might help us as your people.
What time are we training till?
1 o'clock. Are you serious?
I'm excited to have young kids like I have. They work well together. There's a group of harmony here. There's nobody that goes one against the other. They work together so well. They love each other, and there's something that is a responsibility of a trainer to make sure that the harmony is there. And it's an honor to have them as a group, and it's an honor for them too to represent the United States. I mean, yeah, we're ready.
This is the best team ever assembled in the U.S. because of that born-again Christian bond and because of that unity that the team has. That family atmosphere is crucial to the team, because if you've ever seen me and Danny are inseparable, and we never stop talking. A lot of times we talk about God, we read the Bible together, we call each other all the time, we're always in contact with each other. There's nobody closer than your own teammate.
Same ones?
No.
If you're not a professional, don't even try this. There's no days off. There's no let's go to the movies. There's none of that. It's absolutely train, and train. Because that's really all this is about for me. It's not really about me too much anymore. It's about trying to help my team to get where they need to be.
I'm very proud to be representing the United States in hairdressing. The training with Andrea is intensive, but he knows when we get frustrated. And yes, everybody does get frustrated. Sometimes I wonder why I'm still doing this. When Andrea is having us blow dry and blow dry and blow dry, I think to myself, why do I do this? Why? I hate it, you know?
It's almost like a horse race. When do you know that a horse can do it? How much did you hold it back? When you let it go? And if you let it go too soon, they're going to burn out. There is a stage of burning out. It's just like any athlete. They have to see this skin here.
But then we're always trained to go out on the floor and do your best. Instead of going out and beating everybody, you're just beating yourself. So just the relief and the feeling of that is amazing.
As far as the importance of the hairstyles and where they come from, don't ask me. They just come. I have people ask me that a lot. Can you design all this stuff? Where does it come from? And I'm being honest when I say, I don't know. I do play a lot off of nature, like the color zones that we're using for Moscow right now. That was inspired by being around orchids. Because there's nothing more beautiful than that. And that's nature. I'm very much a gardener. I'm all about flowers. I have to have flowers. That's one thing I like around me daily. My wife selects different styles, different color zones, and I study them. It's just something I do. I start off with nothing there. It's like taking a medium, being hair, and transforming that into a sculpture. I'll do a little bit, stand back, look at it, study it. If I see some components aren't where they need to be, then I'll go back to it. It's just like an artist painting a picture. No different. That's the whole goal. You work to get that style just as perfect as you possibly can get it. That one hair lays against another hair, against another hair. Yeah, perfection plays a big part.
Well, one thing that Ronnie's said to me is that he's always looked for someone who would go the gamut, someone who stays dedicated to it and who has a passion and a love for it. And to be quite honest with you, I don't think there's anybody else in the world out there that has a passion and love like Ronnie does.
Yes. A little tighter.
Once we started the competition training, I mean, spending so much time, you're going to get to know someone. And at one point, he was definitely a mentor. Somebody that I definitely looked to, respected their thoughts about, the business.
Yeah, once we get this all cut down, it won't look so humble-jumble.
And what roads you need to take. I really look to him still for that.
Right there. Right there.
But ultimately now it's developed into a wonderful friendship.
Yeah, I love the way they look, Vi.
It's a friendship that I'll always cherish. I can't comprehend or even think about what my life would have been like if I hadn't done this.
What Andrea has us do actually is lay down on the floor and put our legs up on the bed, and he has us just close our eyes and go through the whole entire blow dry in our minds, just to ourselves, lifting the roots, following through, moving to the right side, working on the corner, stretching the hair. He'll have us go through the whole entire competition just in our minds. And that is just like practicing with the blow dryer and the brush and everything. It's a little calming.
We just competed in the U.S. National.
I was training at my hair salon in Naugatuck, Connecticut. And I really didn't train too late. It was about 12:30 in the morning when I stopped. And I was walking up to my car, and there were 3 guys walking down the street. And it was relatively dark, not too many street lights. And they basically wanted my car pretty bad. One of the guys went right over to my passenger seat, and then the other 2 just kind of opened my door and kind of threw me out of the car. As they were holding me down, they put other weight on their knees, which were on my wrist. And after x-rays and MRIs and everything, finally found out that I had torn ligaments in my wrist. It's probably the biggest disappointment of my life. It's an absolute letdown for all my clients, my family members, myself, my teammates, my coach, and just everybody in general.
I was devastated when I found out. When he told me about his wrist, he told me the story. I didn't even know what to say. I basically stood on the phone in silence with him.
When you pull ligaments and tendons in your hand, it takes a lot of time to be healed, and I just hope he doesn't screw that up as in trying to help the team.
Can you move your thumb? How does that feel?
Feels familiar.
He can't move his wrist, he can't move his hand, and it's the right hand. Not only the brushing hand, but it's also the cutting hand. That's where you hold your scissors, your razors.
A little bit.
Where does it hurt? How do you bring another person in there at that point? Very difficult. And we have 1 week to go. So I'm praying and hoping that by the time we get to Moscow, we can tape a blow dryer in his hand and We'll figure something out. Can we have him tape a little more?
Absolutely.
We don't want to move the wrist at all. We tell him we can't.
It hurts. It still hurts a lot. I'm still going to physical therapy every day. It's the worst thing that ever happened to me. We have a limited amount of time, so we're going to try to do the best we can in the time we have.
So what are you doing in the next couple of weeks? Just working?
But as far as progression goes with my wrist, I think we're on the right track with that. I mean, physical therapy is absolutely helping.
So you were cutting hair for an hour?
I was blow drying. I didn't really cut too much.
But I mean, if I have to tape a blow dryer to my wrist, if that's what needs to be done, that's what needs to be done.
I know Danny, and Danny's not the type of person that would quit even if he didn't have an arm. He'd find a way to do it.
There's no question in my mind, I'll absolutely be there to compete.
When we train, I know, for instance, if I have 20 minutes to complete a hairstyle, I should be at point B by the time the clock gets to 18 minutes. I should be at point C when I have 10 minutes left. So as the clock is going, I'm pacing myself so that I know I have exactly enough time to complete the style, for one, but to actually make sure that it's perfect and flawless.
We can do one style 450 times. Because when you do that training so hard and so deep, that competitor has the confidence to get out on the floor and just get that time limit started and boom.
Once they say go, it's like the skies open up and you just go to town. The thrill of it really is maybe in the preparation, maybe the thrill of not knowing what's going to happen. You can prepare for a year in advance for the Hair Olympics, but your mannequin stand could break, your model could pass out, your hairspray could clog up and not work. An array of things could happen, and it's all kind of exciting to know that it's not really planned out.
See where this is squaring?
Yeah.
That's squaring, okay? So this right here needs to arc. Now look at the difference. See there?
We interrupt our regular programming to bring you a severe weather warning. The National Weather Service has issued a flood warning for the Crabtree Creek in North Carolina, affecting the areas of Wake Valley, Franklin County, Chapel Hill, and North Raleigh. Weather officials expect Crabtree
And you need
Creek
less
and surrounding
hair in
areas
this
to reach maximum flood
side
levels by 5
panel.
p.m.
There's too much.
Stay tuned to NOAA
So I need
Radio
to bring
for
this
further
corner
updates.
in so it's diagonal that way, right? Okay.
All of a sudden it went from a trickle of water to just a mass of water coming in. It started at the back of the building rushing through, and it did not stop. I'm looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of a $300,000 loss. That's just the equipment. It's 10 years worth of work building the school. So we'll just have to find another location for them to set up and for them to work. Somehow, some way, we'll pull it back together. I don't have a clue right now as to how that will happen. But yes, I won't give up, and I'll bring it back somehow, some way.
I think we're going to do amazing. I think we are going to go to Russia, and I think we're going to bring home a medal. The entire U.S. team has been working so hard to do a good job, that when you work yourself to death, only great things can come from that. This is the highest level of hair competition. And once you get to this level, there's no turning back. You're competing against the best stylists on earth. Imagine a football arena filled with salon stations. That's basically what it's like.
We would start, by the way, please check your blow dryer.
The atmosphere on the floor is overwhelming. You see countries and competitors and models from all over the world. You see thousands of people walking around, and you start staring at their hair, and you're wondering if they're going to beat you or if their color's better than your color. Competing side by side with someone from another country or from another continent can really take your breath away, because there's just so much energy, and if you're not used to it, you just get swallowed up and you're not focusing on your hair.
A competitor comes on stage with the model, they have read the rules, they know exactly the criteria.
Are you ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Then the competitor executes the style, it's a specific time, it's finished, the judge comes, and they have so much time to judge within the test. For a hairdresser, to be part of a team and win the World Cup, either in the seniors or the juniors, it is the culmination of a lifetime. It's the Oscar of hairdressing.
Going into competition, I always get nauseous. I lose my appetite. I don't want to eat. I don't even really want to talk to anybody.
My stomach just eats me alive. You're just shaking and you're just nervous.
When I compete, I usually have to chew Orbit gum.
I would be in the bathroom most of the morning, which is fun. You gotta care. If you don't care, you would not do that.
Are you ready?
When you're in a competition floor, to wait for the time to start, those first few seconds of the tick-tock of the clock, that's anxiety.
4, 3, 2, 1.
But that's part of the chaos. As a trainer, you feel for the kids because you've been there. I'm nervous for them. Then you come down for a little bit. Then you get into the groove of things. The intense part is time clicking against you.
10 minutes. 4 minutes. 1 minute left.
You have 1 minute left. What do you do in 1 minute? Don't start running all over the place. Stay focused and finish what you're doing. And that takes the training, but that's part of the chaos, and that's part of the minutes that go by in that competition floor.
3, 2, 1, and stop. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
As a team, we did okay. Not as my expectation, but we did okay.
I've done some better mannequins in practice than I did on the competition floor, so that bothered me a little bit. But you know, we did the best we could do, and like I said, it's over. We can't think about it. If we think about it, then it's going to break our concentration for the next one.
We don't watch the judges walk through our stuff. As soon as we're off of competition floor, we come back here, and that competition's over now. We focus on the classes.
The classic is probably the most difficult styles to do. It separates the men from the boys. Has to be perfect, has to look like a piece of marble. Classic takes close to 2 years to learn how to do it. It's an art form, it's a sculpture. They call it Bombay, call it classic. The words itself will tell you you're going to distinguish yourself from every other styles. you're working well with the one hand, but then this is, right now you have a problem.
Yeah,
Hurts? What does that mean, Bertie?
you get hurt on the plane, right? On the way home.
It's like Rocky there. Dun, 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 dun.
I really do feel excited about the Olympics. I want to compete, I want to knock them dead, and I want to bring home a gold medal. I'm ready. I wanted to create something that had never been done, something that when the judges walked out onto the floor, they were just going to stop in their tracks. When you first walk out onto the competition floor, it's kind of surreal.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Your mind kind of goes blank and you zone in. You reflect on all of the training that you've done. You go through every single baby step.
16 minutes.
And you go through it just like practice. But the energy is so high that you can't help to just, you know, like you've had 6 espressos.
4 minutes.
That's what's exciting about this particular style because it's so different, it's innovative, and it's fashion forward, and it's got the color, it's got the form, it's got the balance, it's got the texture, it's got all of these little things in there, and that's what makes it interesting. It makes you stop and walk around it.
It's all about the shock factor. So when the judges come up to your model, you want to shock them. You want them to look at the style and say, wow, this is great. This is just, it does something to me. I'm going to mark it and I'm going to come back and I'm going to study it. And I'll consider it for my top 10. And I was a jury member at the last World Championships. I represented America.
Members of the jury for the ladies' competitions, please hurry up.
When I came out on the floor, there were 120 heads for me to look at. And soon as I started to scan the floor, I could see there were only about 10 or 12 very good heads, and the rest were just no good. We're talking most of all about design, interest in art. It's all about art principles and finding the right model that has that hair that you can interpret these designs with.
We lost a week of training, a week of practice, and in this situation, that's crucial. We just literally ran out of time in their practice sessions. I had requested a year to a year and a half to train the team. 3 months is quite different than a year to a year and a half. So that's what we were dealing with. Bad luck. Bad luck.
I pray a lot. God, I talk to him all the time. I talk to him on the plane. I talk to him there. I talk to him every day before. I'm like, God, you know, please just guide me through this, because I was so scared. I'm just happy that he's a real patient God, because anybody else really would have gotten tired of me. I prayed so long, so hard. He may not come at necessarily the time that I want him to show up, but whatever he comes through with is always on time, and I'm satisfied with that. I'm definitely working on God's time.
Are you ready? Okay, we start the competitions. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go!
My style for this particular competition, my updo style, the colors are very contrasting. You see blondes as well as you see darks.
For ladies junior, 10 minutes more to go.
Basically, your darker colors are around the edges of the hair, and your lighter colors are in the middle to attract your attention to the middle part of it, with curls, also some braids, and it has 2 ponytails, one that sits on the top of the head and one that sits at the very back of the neck.
2 minutes.
It has some fans, which are hair that stands up, and we cut those into a particular shape. There's a lot of little things going on within that style.
20 seconds. And the 10 last seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop.
For the ladies competition, please try your blow dryer, please.
Участники соревнований в женской категории, пожалуйста, проверьте свое электрооборудование. Ваши фены.
Thank you.
Спасибо.
Okay, this might sound silly, but sometimes if I really get a lot of anxiety and stuff, I actually might sing a song in my head or something to help calm me down. I kind of like take myself out of the atmosphere, because if I get too anxious, I'll start dropping stuff or slipping or shaking or something like that.
1, and go!
I'm not big on failure or thinking that anyone's a failure, as long as you know that you tried your hardest and did your best. So if me doing my best is last place, that's not a failure. That's kind of like a luxury, winning. If I do my best and I win, that's amazing. But it's not the most important thing.
15 seconds.
And the last seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
The philosophy and the psychology of a world champion is that he must really believe that he's going to win the World Cup, and he must see himself holding the cup. You know, go to sleep with it, get up in the morning, and really believing in that. It is removing the fear, but only see the victory, and that's the one they're really going to get it. Because winning is everything.
You guys ready for another one? Yeah, one more. No, two more. One now. This is a warm-up section right now, and like I say, once we get up there, we'll be fine. They'll do well. I trust they will do well this time.
Are you ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
In competition, for me, there's always two different worlds. There's always the world which I'm standing in, which is the world with all the hectic stuff around me and the people yelling at me and other countries staring at me. And then there's my world, which is absolutely silent, which is I'm back at my salon. A lot to do with competition is setting your mind to the right tone. It takes a lot of work to do that. I don't want to say it's like blacking out, but it's just about fully concentrating, and it's about fully knowing what you have to do, when you have to do it, and how you have to do it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop.
Went well, I think. I mean, you have a feel of how you did, but you don't know for sure until the award show.
Danny beat himself, let it be known.
It's funny, once you first step off the floor, you're very confident. Oh, I did a great job. And as time passes, everything kind of goes down a little bit. And by the time the award show comes, you're like, I just hope I'm in the top 10, you know what I mean?
The 5th place
Пятое место занимает
goes to the United States of America.
представитель США.
To Rick Questenberry, Dan DiLeo, Jeremy Nascimento, Crystal Pruskowski, on the 5th place.
Пятое место.
If the U.S. team is in the top 10 as a team, I think we're on the right track because there will be about 35 countries that will be competing. But to be in the top 3 is a very, very difficult task. For a country to do well, the competitors in the country, in the whole group, has to be hungry for the win. They have to have the passion. They all have to have the same goal in mind. And when everyone has the same goal in mind, I think that a country can make something happen. I think our greatest competition here will probably be the Russians because they're the host country. And usually the host country goes to extreme measures to win a competition, to make their name larger than life, of course.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
very spiritual person. I do believe in God, and I believe that He guides my footsteps, and I believe that He will give you your heart's desire should you ask and work towards that. This journey that I'm on has all been, I believe, predestined for me, and it's just coming to be as we speak.
The results for the awards by Hair World 2006 in Moscow. Which team is the winner of the World Cup? Do you know it? Russia! The winner of the World Cup in the tactic comes from here, from Russia. And the winner is Russia. From Russia, Nikolai Maximovsky. Russia is the winner.
You have to mentally be able to take the winning with the losing. If you win, that's nothing but just like, I call it putting the icing on the cake.
I think that if you just do your job, do it well, and give 100% and be honest at all times, then things will work out for you. When the Paralympics comes to America in 2008, that will be the ultimate time for Dale to shine. When the Europeans come to the United States, we'll have the home team advantage. Things will be a little bit different, and we'll be ready. We'll be ready. So, yay me. I don't have to fly anywhere.
Hairstyling is so fun to me. I just love doing that. I like having that eagerness in my profession. And I guess my dad saw that I worked so much like that, and I still walk around with a smile on my face. I finally heard it come out of my dad's mouth that he was proud of me, probably about 2 weeks ago, for the first time since I've started this. It was a very long wait. Very long wait.
Once the competitions are over, the mannequins themselves can be discarded. They're pretty much worn out by that time. Believe it or not, we are always contacted by police departments. They will actually come by and pick up these mannequin heads we use. And they will bang, 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 use our old dead mannequin heads for target practice. That's literally what they use them for. So that's kind of neat. It's mainly having the love. I think that plays an important factor, is having the love of being able to do it and being involved in it. You gotta love it.
Figaro,